Hello, everyone. I'm Kathy Cronin, and I'd like to introduce the panel that's joining me today. I have Karen Downey, Susan Jarboe, and Reverend Linda. And we have a really interesting topic for this holiday season. But before we go into this, let's take a moment so we can get centered and focus on the present and be truly within this moment in time. If it helps to close your eyes, to feel that peace within. And let's take a deep breath in together. Hold that for a moment and then exhale. And you can feel that tension releasing, your body feeling that freeness when you let go of that breath. And let's take another breath in. We call spirit the divine wisdom and guidance. And now we release that tension. Let that breath go with a sigh. Just shake this off. Tingle your fingers, move about, and just feel. You can feel your body relaxing. We know that the divine spirit is with us. We know that the guidance and wisdom is here. And Heavenly Father, we call upon you to enlighten us into this holiday season, that we may be filled with the joy, the hope, the love, the peace that this season brings. For those who are suffering, we ask you to comfort them. For those who are looking for hope, we ask you to give them that light, that their way will be shown for them. And may we find joy in each other by being loving and kind and open to the spirit of Christmas, that this is all about the birthing of Christ, the new within, that we become one with spirit, that Jesus' birth is a reminder that our Christ self is here to be born again. And with this, we say, we thank you, Father, for this time to share our thoughts, those things that are in our hearts, and to help and guide those who are joining us today. Dear Father, thank you for your many blessings. Amen. So today's topic is going to be igniting hope in the world. And this was from the Unity Booklet, A Christmas of Light and Peace. And the article that I am reading from was written by Reverend Jim Blake, who was the Unity World Headquarters CEO. And he wrote this as an opening to the Advent booklet to walk you through the Advent season. So, as he writes, another holiday season is upon us. As one who is all consumed by the sparkle and magic of the season, even I must admit that the past few years have been challenging in many ways. This year is no different. My heart can easily stray from the purity and warmth of the season, with so much turmoil swirling about in today's world. As a result, I found myself contemplating how I might return to my childlike wonder of the holidays in the face of pain and suffering that has occurred throughout the course of this year. So much divisiveness overwhelm nearly everything. Then it occurred to me, perhaps this is precisely the reason I must work to find my inner child and rekindle the spirit of the holidays within myself. The season is marked by traditions that symbolize hope. They are built upon the promise of better days and better ways. Maybe hope sparks the gentle and generous warmth of the season within us each year. Maybe hope finds our generosity and our seasonal compassion for our human family. Is it possible that this same hope sparks our thoughts, words, and actions in such a way that the optimism of the holidays spill forth from each of us into wonderful acts of kindness and love. I submit that at the very least, hope must be a contributing factor. For this hope to continue to ignite an internal glow in each of us, mustn't we then take it upon ourselves to lead by example? Can we find it in ourselves to acknowledge the turbulence in the world and at the same time commit to exuding peace and light to ignite hope in those around us? I think this may be our call this season to shine forth our inner light of love and hope for all to see, to once again connect with the magic and nostalgia of the season, and to embrace the childlike love and enthusiasm of the season. In doing so, we are not only creating hope for ourselves and those in our circles, but we are out picturing that very hope in our actions. We are affirming in our activity the hope that fuels us in manifesting as an outpouring of generosity and spirit in all we do. Let us look beyond unrest this year and turn to hope. May it be the shining star that guides us to live out loud the hope we have for better days and better ways. I picked this topic for this Advent season and for this holiday season because hope is something I'm really struggling with. I think to feel despair and have lost hope in a brighter future. And I had to read this, and it reminded me that I have to find that hope within me, not outside there. That if within myself I can see hopeful moments, I can see that there is hope, that within the divine, there is a source that is working through me and within me to help me bring hope to those around me. Rather than focusing on the negativity, if I can see the positive, if I can try to remind myself that this isn't all despair, this isn't hope, hopelessness in anything, that there is a good source of energy, there is good around us. And if I can be that beacon of light or a shining spark of hope to somebody that maybe is struggling with this holiday season, that is struggling because of things that have happened to them or around them, or who are struggling to find that there is some joy around us. I have to work for myself to build my hope and believing that God is in everything present and that God can work through me and that I am here to carry this torch or this light, to let my light shine, to be that beacon for someone else who maybe is struggling, to let go of my sense of despair and open myself to the spirit to bring hope within myself. And I think if it starts within me, it can spread outward to those close to me and then out further. It's like that ripple in the water. If you throw that pebble in there, it makes that ripple. And how I could just be that little ripple that can start a wave, that each of us has a way to be able to open this up and spread hope. And I want to know that I struggle with this. I can't say it's easy for me. And every day I have to be challenged to see something positive when I'm hearing the negative. I have to believe and I hope for the highest good of everything around us, and that there is a divine universal power that is bringing this to a good and open being. And I'm asking for God to show me the way to be the hope within myself and in others. And I want to open this to the panel as to how this season they can help find hope within themselves and for others. And who would like to share?
Hello, I'll begin the sharing. One of the things I want to tell you a little bit about what my church does, and then a little bit about what I do. Every Christmas, my church puts on a breakfast, and it's our military outreach ministry. And we put on a big breakfast. One of us dresses up as Santa Claus. The congregation has all donated gifts. And so military families with children come to our church, and we have this big celebration, and the children get presents. And it's a fun time. We've done this for years. This year, we're doing something else. Well, we're doing another thing. On top of our military outreach ministry, we've started something called Christmas Across the Borders. And we are at individual congregants volunteer to sponsor a child who is, south of the border. And these children may be orphans, they may be children of single parents, they may have come from abused homes. We don't know. But we donate enough money for each child to have a uniform and shoes for school. And we celebrate this in January with the arrival of the wise men rather than at Christmas time. So, what we're hoping to do is to give those children hope that their lives can become better. I'd like to just say a word about my own Christmas giving. Uh, I have a fairly large family, and years ago, I decided there's no way I can buy presents for everyone, and not everyone buys presents for me, yet I still want to acknowledge them. And so I have been engaging in alternative giving. And there are many alternative giving programs. The one I use is called Heifer. And the way it works is this: you buy an animal, and it goes to a family in need in some part of the world. And Heifer teaches the family how to take care of the animal. And the first offspring of the animal goes to someone else in that particular village. So all of my adult relatives get a share of an animal. And sometimes it's a sheep. Sometimes it's a flock of chickens. Sometimes it is an actual heifer. And they make jokes about it. Well, what animal has Susan bought us this year? And it's my way of first contributing to a good cause, but also raising my family's awareness of what is needed in the world. And let me just make a footnote here. The children in the family, they all get a Christmas ornament from me until they graduate high school. And that's when they get a card. So uh, I hope that I have promoted hope with through my church and through the way I give. Thank you for this message.
Thank you, Susan, for that share. I wrote that down, heifer. That how creative and how unique. Um, of course, I'm in my 80s now, so I've let go of a lot of things that I thought I knew. And I know I went through doing a workshop. Well, it's been a couple of years ago now, Big Book Awakening, which is just a little deeper look into the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous, which is used for all 12-step recovery basically. It's the principles. and the principles are really universal. But I love the prayer, and I can't remember all of the different verbiage, but it's letting go of everything I thought I knew. And that's something that I practice on a daily basis. Um, because most everything that I thought I knew has been not true. Um, and not being attached to anything, especially my way of thinking what is right or wrong, or how to do the holidays or not do them. I've spent so much of my life like trying to conform to whatever something outside myself said I should be or not be, whatever. Now I just try to practice being unique. And so the gift giving thing really isn't something that I've gotten into for a long time. Um, the little kids in the family, they do their Christmases before we all get together at my son's house, which is great. Once you've got adult children and families, it's really difficult um, to do whatever each individual family does at Christmas time. And I know many years ago, after I got, well, like 33 years ago, after I got divorced, I realized, well, goodness, I can't afford to be doing all of this Christmas stuff. So what I did, and some of you may have heard this story, is we started doing Christmas in June or July or whatever. And so I think the youngest grandkid then was maybe like 3 or 4. Um, and I did this with them until they were like 18. And we did something, it started as simple as going to a movie, and then it grew. I'm going to the motel, then it was this, then it was that. I think the last year that we did Christmas was I was living in San Diego, and 3 out of the 5, I flew them out to San Diego. And since they weren't 18, they were 16, 17 and a half. Um, Daddy had to walk them onto the plane, and I had to be right there as they got off the plane. And it was always fun. Uh, on our get-togethers, I always heard the things that their parents never wanted me to know, I'm sure, but it was always fun, and I went wherever there was a swimming pool and a hot tub and order a pizza and leave the mess at the motel. So I guess, those really are my good memories of Christmas, and none of them were around in December. Um, and I'm just grateful as this holiday season. I don't really get into holidays. It seems like there's too many expectations around things. Um, But the problem comes if I'm trying to make something that I think should be a different way than it is. And with so many things going on in the world today, especially if one watches mainstream news, which I've never watched, I choose to watch independent research people that are not funded in any way by the big corporations, because I just want information. I don't want biased opinions of anything. And so that really keeps me out of a lot of drama. And fortunately, um, in moving back to Colorado, my children all have done their research. So coming back here was like, whoa, they've started looking into things that I was looking into 30 years ago. So I just know that my job, and I certainly don't wake up happy every day. Let's march into life. It's like I have to make a choice as to how my attitude is going to be and being my authentic self and not getting into gossip or drama or things. And I'm very, very grateful. I'm very grateful that I have YouTube Premium. Um, so I can pick and choose who I listen to. If I want to listen to a book, if I want to listen to somebody that's been on the ground doing actual journalism. And man, oh man, there's so many interesting things. I've learned more in the last 5 years than I ever learned in school or my whole existence. So I guess another year of paying for premium so I don't have to listen to programmed commercials. That's my Christmas present to myself. Because I don't do commercials. Anything that's got commercials, it just doesn't work. And I'm looking forward to just everybody getting together and eating without expectations. And now that I'm older, I don't really have to bring anything or cook. So it's a celebration for me. And I get to enjoy seeing how my kids have grown and now how grandkids that are starting families and things have grown and how great grandkids are growing and the interactions there. So that really brings joy and hope, and everything is just the way it's supposed to be, or it wouldn't be. So thank you for that. Thank you for that topic. And thank you for the tidbit on heifer.
Well, I will definitely share. Kathy, I really loved the reading and I really resonated with your struggle on finding hope. One of my favorite sayings, slogans is don't tell God how big your problems are, tell your problems how big your God is. I really do try and carry a light of hope. I'm very aware that I'm right here, right now for a reason, and that seriously, the world needs hope. And how do you carry that? And Karen touched on it, God is in it all. Everything is as it should be. And there's another saying, it'll be all right in the end. If it's not all right, it's not the end. I love that and I hold on to it. I know that to heal the problems in society, in the world, in the universe, we have to see them. And I know that seeing them is uncomfortable and can really be devastating. But especially at Christmas time, this time of rebirth and renewal, anything is possible. And the more people who are aware of and alerted to the problems that we're seeing, the more hopeful that I am because we are the solution. And boy, we've got our work cut out for us, but we are the perfect people to mend the world, to heal, to create the future that's coming. Another way that I ignite hope is by taking a look at what some of our young people are inventing and creating and the way that they're using the mix of new technology that's beyond my understanding and old technology being used in ways I never even imagined. I have great hope that the world is in wonderful hands and that we are a part of the solution. And as Christmas approaches and comes, it's a time of rebirth, of renewal, of re-knowing that God is in it all. usually I have great hope, and hopefully I'm able to share it, as are we all. Thank you for this topic, Kathy.
Well, thank you, Linda. Thank you, Susan and Karen, for your sharing. Do any of you have anything else you want to add to this topic? So if no one has more to share, then I'd like to bring us to a close and say we appreciate everybody joining us today. And for those who are out there that may be watching this who are struggling, just know that we can carry that hope for you, is to look within, that to believe that there is some hope in the world, that there is some good there, and take a little bit of time to maybe see something that happened that's hopeful. We know so many people are struggling right now. So much negativity is filling the airwaves, and so much, is being said, no matter where it's coming from. I have to say that, it just is. Sometimes it's like I go, I have to get away from this because I don't want to hear this negativity, but everybody is struggling. I understand that people are struggling, and that's why we're hearing more complaining with that things, but just try to be that hopeful, optimistic. If there is a negative conversation going, change it to something of hope, change it to something of good, and sharing that, maybe that little, even for me, by doing that, it brings a little hope within me, takes me out of my despair, or just by trying to be that little positive influence, going, okay, I'm hearing us going down a rabbit hole here. Let's see something positive. So, and please use comment if you have comments to say, if there's things you want to share. If you want prayer, Silent Unity is there 7/24. And even reaching out to the church to receive prayer to help you, just in this time of hope and despair that may be going on. Let's someone help you find some hope. Be a support for others to bring hope about. And in that, being supportive of each other. And this is what this group here, we support each other in coming together and doing these tapings just so we can reach out. So I want to say thank you to everyone that joins us, that has subscribed. We appreciate you as a subscriber. We thank you for your comments and your likes. And if you hit that little bell, you'll get notification when there's a new posting. And we want to send you into this holiday season, into this time of hope, that this is the time of joy, that it's about focusing on the birth of Christ within each and every one of us. And if you look to your brother and everyone out there as the Christ child who is here to share in the world, we know that we can bring hope together. Thank you, everyone, and we want to wish you all the best. Bye.
Thank you for joining us, and let's stay connected and grow in spirit. We are on Facebook. Search for Unity Church of El Cajon and follow us and like our posts. You can reach us on YouTube at Unity Church of El Cajon. Please subscribe to our channel, watch our videos, and leave comments which can help us improve. We are on the web at unityofelcajon.org. Email or call our church office to receive our weekly newsletters, which lists all of our activities and opportunities to learn and grow together.